And welcome. It's the 91st Academy Awards tonight, and tonight's awards ceremony with some changes from years past. Well, I'm joined tonight by our film critic, Jim Hunter. We have been streaming live on our digital platforms, our Eyewitness News website, tristatehomepage.com, and our Eyewitness News Facebook page. Okay, Jim, we've got some awards that have just come down, and we've got some, well, I don't know if they're surprises or not, but they involve screenplay.
Well, one is a big surprise to me, and that was Green Book getting Best Original Screenplay. This is one of the screenplays that has been maligned as one of the weaker screenplays of the year. However, I shouldn't be too surprised since it did also get the Golden Globe for Best Original Screenplay. It is beating out such other screenplays such as The Favorite, which was the favorite to win in that category. It is also beating out some other formidable competitions such as Roma as well. We also have the Best Adapted Screenplay that has also been just announced. Spike Lee has his hands on an Oscar, this time for writing instead of directing, but still BlacKkKlansman wins Best Adapted Screenplay at the Academy Awards tonight. So he just gave a very moving speech. Read it off of I was listening to most of it before we came on air, and he is quite delightful. So we're very happy for Spike Lee getting the Best Adapted Screenplay. That was expected. And the Academy under a lot of pressure this year to keep this this awards presentation relatively on time. That remains to be seen. But we have the major awards coming up: Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Actress. Leading up to this, there have been some surprises tonight that you were not expecting, and I assume other film critics were not expecting. Right. And let me in on that. Sure. So Bohemian Rhapsody currently has, I believe, 3 awards, if my count is right. A lot of those are in technical categories. I was expecting Bohemian Rhapsody not to garner as much attention as it has. It nevertheless is getting a lot of these technical awards. Also, Black Panther cleaning up with 2 Oscars, both in technical awards as well. But Bohemian Rhapsody is the one that leads the way, 3 awards. Roma is holding strong with 2, Best Cinematography and, of course, Best Foreign Language Film. That one is also expected to do well in the major categories such as Director and Picture. And it would be a huge deal if Roma would win Best Picture, primarily because it had a very limited theatrical release. It's primarily been on Netflix. Right. And that could change the game altogether in future years. It certainly can. Netflix is really asserting itself this award season, and it has only released Roma in a select few theaters just to qualify for the Oscars, and then of course released the film on its streaming platform, where the majority of people who saw Roma saw it on Netflix. This changes the game in many ways, because if it's changing the release model, it is changing how the studios do their business, how movies make their money, and that could spell some real differences in the future of this industry. And in a little less than 20 years ago, there was a young man who was in the trenches of the University of Evansville Theater Department. His name is Rami Malek, and he's up for Best Actor tonight. He's won a SAG Award, a BAFTA Award, and the Golden Globe. Would be considered a front runner on this, and there's a big party going on right now out on the west side at the Sterling City View venue, where people are coming together to raise money for the theater department there at UE, and there's that live picture right now from Eyewitness News. It's the Rooting for Rami party, and this group of people you see here, they may be on their feet. They probably will be on their feet here in a little bit when they announce the Best Actor Award. The anticipation is starting to build. The anticipation is starting to build there. It's starting to build here, too. I expect Rami Malek to probably be up there accepting a Best Actor Award. University of Evansville will likely be able to boast an Academy Award winner in their alumni.
And a lot of critics have been, they haven't been big fans of Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, but virtually Rami Malek has received rave reviews and a very popular movie at the box office.
Well, both Green Book, Black Klansman, and Bohemian Rhapsody have been incredible box office draws. Black Panther, of course, leads the way. It was the highest grossing domestic film of the year with over $700 million. So these are definitely popular films. The Academy didn't even need to add a popular film category. Whether or not they were popular with critics, they've certainly been popular with audiences, and it appears they've been popular with the Academy. A little bit surprised about Green Book's screenplay win and the number of awards that Bohemian Rhapsody has racked up so far, but that's why we watch the Oscars, in order to be surprised by some of the big winners.
Yeah, we are looking at the trends of this. Black Panther, that would be historic too. Basically a comic book story and screenplay winning a Best Picture Oscar. The fact that it's been nominated is groundbreaking in many ways. Glenn Close has been nominated 7 times, has never won, but she's the favorite for Best Actress, or some would argue.
Yeah, she is. And I also briefly want to note that right now we have a new award. Black Panther has just won Best Score. So as we were talking, Black Panther rocks up another award that puts its total number at 3, tying it with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay,
so.
Quite a mix this year as far as the suspense of all this. And Roma, which you believe will probably win Best Picture, I would venture to say very few people in Evansville have even heard of this movie, let alone seen it.
Well, they can check their Netflix, and it is available currently. That's the primary release model for Roma. There are a lot of people who did not see this film, and it's a difficult film to get into. I will say that it'll take a lot of time and patience in order to enjoy Roma. It's a film that asks a lot of its viewer. That said, I do think there's a lot going on there. It's a very interesting film. It's a subjective film. It's a meditative film. And it's also got some of the most beautiful cinematography, rightly honored tonight with Best Cinematography.
Well, as far as the Best Picture nominees, quite a diverse group here. Everything from a biopic on former Vice President Dick Cheney to Black Panther, Black Klansman, and of course, Freddie Mercury. And the man who's playing Freddie Mercury could be walking away with an Oscar tonight, and he got his theatrical credentials right here in Evansville at UE. You're watching Eyewitness News.